What can you run with a 100-watt solar panel? It's a question that comes up often for those looking into smaller scale solar installations. Trying to figure out how much you need in terms of solar panels and solar power can be a bit tricky. And one of the reasons is that the answer tends to be, it depends. And that the reason for that is it does depend on a number of things. And the first one is batteries. So one thing to consider when you're trying to answer this question is, what size batteries will you use? Are you going to use batteries? I recommend it, and an inverter as well. How many batteries will you have, and what size will they be? So the batteries are used to store the extra energy you get in peak times, and also keep some on reserve for when you need it. Your location also plays a role. So you get different amounts of sunlight depending on where you are and what season it is. So winter, you will have less sunlight than summer, and the further south you get, the more consistent sunlight all year round you will get compared to if you're in the north. You know, you may have a lot more summer sun than those in the south. So depending on what you're doing with this and when, those are some things to keep in mind. And the weather is also something to keep in mind. You know, sometimes it may be cloudy and sometimes it may be rainy, and you might not get the power you need. So you want to keep that in mind when considering what you will get. So some people using the solar panel kit I recommend, they get about 600 to 700 watts per day on average. So this is just averaged out. They've got 2 batteries, and it's good to keep, you know, a store of energy in there. And you can see there's a few things you can do on that amount. So charging a laptop, an iPhone. You can't really run a fridge without running completely out of your solar power and then taking a few days to recharge. But some of the smaller devices and appliances that will work are things like a ceiling fan. So if you are traveling and you want to be parked in the sun to get your solar power, you might want something like this. Laptops run between 25 to 100 watts, so you can charge that. Satellite dishes about 30 watts. Cable boxes about 35. The TV runs about 150 watts. So if you are getting about 600 watts a day, you could watch TV for a few hours, perhaps. An LED light bulb, about a 40 watt equivalent, is about 10 watts. So if you had 10 light bulbs, you could run them for 6 hours. To charge a smartphone or an iPhone, it might be about 6 watts, or a tablet might be about 8. A sewing machine is 100. So some people also use a 100-watt solar panel to charge their cordless tools or lawn equipment, if it's cordless like a lawnmower. And that's great for an off-grid build. So keep in mind that things that use a lot of heat use a lot of power. So microwaves, cooktops, hair dryers, things like that use a lot of wattage, thousands. So that's not really something that you can use a 100-watt solar panel for. Fridge and freezer, that's also stretching it. But it'll work for quite a few of the smaller things. So if you're just getting started, what I'd recommend is to start out with the 100-watt solar power kit, and maybe grab 2 batteries to go along with that. And so this will give you an idea of if you have enough power or not. If you need to add more, you can. These kind of solar power kits are expandable, which is an excellent feature of them. So if you find 100 watts is not enough, you just grab another solar panel, make it 200, and use that and see how that goes. So if you'd like to see which 100-watt solar power kit and the solar panel I recommend, go to super-solar-power.com, and you can go there now and see my full review on the solar